Hi there boys and girls, it's Alex for PokerStars.net. Today we're gonna play some poker on PokerStars. It's Nl10 Zoom. I already made a video for Nl5 Zoom, so if you're a super beginner, maybe you can check that video out. And this will be a little more advanced, but still pretty basic video. So we are already 340 hands into session. We are currently losing $14, so it's like 1.5 stack since we are playing $10 buy-ins. We are on 2 tables. The 5-6 will not defend from the small blind. The ace-10 we can free bet here or fold. So our free bet side will be 3 times the open plus 2 blinds, big blinds if we are out of position. King 6 is too weak to defend. This guy folds, so it's a pretty good outcome. We pick up the pot before the flop. With ace-5 on the cutoff, we're gonna open. We're gonna use 2.x every time we are on the cutoff. This is a pretty good board for us. We have a gut shot. Here we can sometimes 4-bet, sometimes fold. Here we're gonna opt for a fold. We're gonna make a small continuation bet in position. So when we are making continuation bets in position, it will usually be 1/3 of the pot. If it's out of position, it will be around half of the pot. Reason for that is because we are more often continuing in the position than out of position, and so we want to give us better value for our bluffs, and also we can make enough value on the next streets by larger bet sizes. Here we're gonna actually check back, check and hope he will check back, or we can call one street to see what happens on a turn. Here with just pair of 5s, we're gonna call, make a small bet here. This is more like a protection bet, so he will not bet big on the river. Here, I'm not sure what to do. Maybe we can bet, because when he checks back, he probably has some showdown value. It can be ace high or it can be some pair, but when he calls, he always has some pair. We get really lucky on this river, so he's gonna value bet big. And this is a super good situation. We got squeezed. We're gonna make a 4-bet. Let's see what happens. Oh, this guy is also gonna call, so he folded. We're gonna make in a 3 or 4-bet pots, we are always c-betting 1/3 of the pot. There's no reason to go bigger than that. This is a super bet card. Now he can also has queens or jacks or 10s, but you just have to get the stacks in. Hope to win the pot here. So he probably has some king jack, ace jack hand. He decided to call a 4-bet, because if he had a 10s, he would either consider here calling because he had an up and down straight. Here with the king, we're gonna value bet here. Here using the same 1/3 of the pot size, even a little less because it's not 33% but 30%. Sometimes we can use a bluff by this size, bluff re-raise. This little loose to open, but I think on this stakes we can get away with that. We will not get many free bets. You see, we get the call here, but we get the squeeze from the big blind, so we're gonna give up. With the 6-9, it's also pretty weak calling, but this guy is a fish. He has not a full stack, so we can get away with that. On the ace high board, we just need to make one continuation bet. If he continues, we just have to give up here. He's maybe continuing with some weak hands like king 10 or a flush draw. So when he checks back, we're gonna make one more step here and hope he does not have any pair. If he has any pair, he will just call for sure. Here we're gonna make a continuation bet with 2 queens. he check raises us, so I'm not sure what does that mean, but that he has jack or a 10 or... So this guy falls here, is pretty good outcome. So this guy continues. So when we have a queen of hearts, we are blocking a lot of draws, so we're a little afraid here of the jack, but I think we have to call. When he snap jack backs, I think we are good here, but we don't have to value bet here because I'm not sure what is he calling with. So okay, this guy just played like total retard and got really lucky, so he check raised the jack 10 jack flop with king 4, then bet on the 5 and then spike a king on the river. So I'm not sure what it was he trying to do, but he got super lucky. Okay, so maybe we are smaller bet size than they are used to is inducing more bluffs from some players, but to know that for sure I would need to play this stakes maybe for at least a few days and have some hands on the regulars here. Okay, this is super crazy, so just label this guy a fish. Okay, so many players here will just give you their money because if you open for 20 cents, he shoves for $10. You're obviously not calling with 5, 6 of clubs. You're obviously calling with aces, kings, and queens. So in this situation, you'll just win everything. Pretty easy game. Here we're at 10-9. We're gonna defend here from the big blind. We are assuming he's opening really wide from the small blind. So this is a small bet size, out of position, not expecting him to have a hand, so we have to call with the nines. He continues bigger, so that means he was inducing us to re-raise him on the flop. Yeah, that's it. He was just inducing us to raise him on the flop, so he probably has a really strong hand like a set or a flush, so we'll not continue with our pair of nines. So these smaller bets, especially out of position, they are usually weakness, but sometimes players try to be a little tricky to induce a raise. Here with the 6-7, we can free bet here in the position. So this guy snap shoves. Okay, let's give up. We are just seeing a lot of really fast shoves here. I'm not sure why. Here with ace jack, let's try to play this hand in a position. We are rarely calling. We are usually free betting to isolate the player and play in position against him. The only position when we are mainly calling, not free betting, is from big blind, because we already invested one blind, so and we are usually closing the action, so we can more profitably just call. With a king jack, we're gonna free bet from the small blind. It's never a good idea to just call from the small blind, because then the big blind can squeeze behind us. So it's always better to free bet from the small blind. The only situation when we are just calling is when we have a super passive player on the big blind, so we want to induce him to get into the pot. Here we're gonna squeeze. Maybe a little bigger size like this. The first guy folds. Let's see. Yeah, the other guy folds also. So my sizing in squeezed pots will be 3 times the open. plus all the calls, plus 2 or 3 big blinds if I'm out of position, like in this situation. A6 is good enough to open. Here this is a pretty good flop for us. We can represent the king, and if he has some ace queen, ace jack hand, he'll probably not continue here. When he check raises such a big size, he probably has a good hand, at least a pair of tens or higher, or maybe some ace queen with the diamonds. So we're gonna discard our sevens. Here on this board we just need to make one continuation bet in case he also missed like we did. If he continues or raises, we're actually getting a lot of raises here. I was not expecting that, so maybe it's just coincidence, but I'm not expecting guys on Nl10 to be so aggressive. Here with the jacks we're gonna make a continuation bet here. With the kings we're gonna free bet for value. So this is terrible card because now only 6 makes straight, so we're gonna check and value bet the river. Here we're gonna continue, also 1/3 of the pot, because we have enough space to get the stacks in until the river. Actually, when this guy bets like this, I'm not sure what to do. Yeah, I just have to call. Okay, see, well, he was value betting only the 9. He called on a 3, 4, 5 with 10, 9. Really crazy, okay. Yeah, sometimes I will get confused and in this game, because there are many crazy players that are not actually sure what they are doing, so sometimes I will not just expect some action. With any king we can open on the button, since we are opening min, only 2x. We are expecting to get a lot of folds or to play in a position. Sometimes we're gonna get free bet, but not very often, I hope so. We are still not playing enough to have enough hands on the players. I would need to play at least for a few hours to have some hands. And on the zoom it's much harder to gather hands of the opponents. Here if he has an ace or a queen, he'll just call any size. So if we bet the smaller, we're just saving money here. Here with the king 5, which is gonna fold. So I think I'm gonna play maybe 15 minutes more to make it a half-an-hour video. Hope to get into some interesting spots. Here we have a really good hand. Hope to get some action. We get a call from big blind. Make a standard continuation bet here. When he calls, he has some pairs, he has some draws, he has maybe a jack. So he's representing a deuce. He said with this bet he's saying, okay, I have a deuce, but we cannot fold here, so we just have to call. Okay, he had a weak jack and he value bet for 2 streets. Okay, pretty good for us. I did not see much value in raising, so because he'll probably just call us with better hands. Here, out of position, we're gonna make a value bet, not value bet, a continuation bet, little more than half of the pot. I would continue on any diamond, on any ace, king, queen, of course. But since we have this run out, so I'll just give up here. Here I'm gonna value bet d8. With the free deuce suited, we're gonna open the button. We're gonna open the button really wide, maybe like 50 or 60% of hands. This guy is super short, so we're gonna get the stacks in if he shoves. So it's only like 50 cents more. This guy is really thinking about his 60 cents, like what he should do with his 60 cents. Okay, I have no idea what he has. Maybe he has some draw, maybe he has like 4, 5, 3 deuce, I don't know, but we'll call for such a small bet. Into sixes, we are happy to play in position. We flop a flush draw, but we are losing to ace or a jack. Now we pick a flush, but it's not a really good flush, it's only 6 high flush. If he checks back again, we're gonna value bet small, hope to get the call from some weaker hands. Here we're gonna continue bet with 2 jacks, we are losing to queen. Let's see what happens on the turn. So now he probably does not have a queen. Maybe he has a king if he was calling with a king of diamonds. But we're gonna call this river if he bets. So he probably had some weaker pair, maybe like 7s or 6s or something like that. He had a 9, so same thing. Okay, here we hope to get some action with our aces. We have 1 call. We're gonna continue 1/3 of the pot. Okay, so now we're gonna continue larger, not maybe like this. Our goal here is to make big enough bet so we can put the stacks in on the river, so it's not over bet on the river. So he probably had some pair, but we cannot check on the turn, because if he has a hand like 2 tens or 2 jacks, he will never bet. He does not have a reason to bet, he has some showdown value. This is like the weakest hand we can call a free bet here, since we are in the position. And we flop a top pair, we'll be more happy to flop also some backdoor flush draw or a straight draw, but we'll have to call with our top pair. He made it small on the flop, 1/3 of the pot, so it's also 1/3 of the pot. So I think he has a hand like jacks or tens. So this is a strange card. So it's a flush there, but we have 2 pairs. Now he bets big. Actually, I don't know, I have no idea what he has, so. But with the 2 pairs, I think we just have to call. Yeah, we are against the flush, so. Pretty bad outcome. Let's see what happens with the aces. So this guy calls again to get a call from the jack here. With ace-5, we're gonna defend here. Since it's suited, if it's not suited, I would just fold here. Let's see what this guy had. So he had a weak jack, so pretty good. I think one of the most important things to beat these days is just to value bet when you have the hand, to value bet big, not try to induce some raises or check raises, or just bet and bet. Here with a flush draw and 2 overs, we take the pot down on the flop. Here we have this pretty bad player, so we are defending from our big blinds, since we have also one call before us. Here we are probably good with these jacks. We're gonna value bet against some flush draws. This guy calls, so I have no idea what he has. We're gonna check back and bet the river. I was hoping to get call from some weaker 10 or 7. This is like super loose open, but like I told you previously, I think we can get away with that because people are just holding the blinds too much on the lower limits, and especially in the zoom where they can fold until they get the good hand. Here with the king jack suited, we're gonna free bet on the button, go to play in position, and we get the cold call from small blind. That's a weird thing. This guy with a small stack size only calls, so he's probably really bad player. And now he makes this weird 30 cents bet into 2.6. Actually, I'm gonna fold, even it's a really good price. If I had only one diamond there, I would call, but I would like to see what these guys have. So I just stay to watch. We would win the pot, but I could not just call the flop. Okay, this is super weird. I have no idea what this guy has. Oh, we would split the pot. But what this guy had, this DCG guy had ace-10 with the spades, so he had a super strong hand on the flop. But he called raise the free bet before the flop with the ace-10 suited, so out of position, so it's really bad play. You're not getting into many interesting spots here. Okay, since this guy is super short, we cannot free bet here because you just have to get the stacks in with this guy. So we're just gonna call. If it was only one guy opening, we would free bet here and play in position. But against the raise and the call, we can also just call. Here we have a gut shot. We're gonna try to stab in position and hope to to get the fold here. This guy check calls, so he probably has some kings, queens, jacks, so he'll probably not fold it, so we have to give up. Yeah, let's see. No, he had only pair of tens, so unfortunately nobody raised. Maybe he had aces. Here we have free bets for small blind from the guy who does not have a full stack. We're gonna call and play in position. On this board, with his stack size, we just have to stack off. If he has ace, kings or queens, he can have it, so that's the way it is. Oh, he has ace high, so this is a terrible play on his side. He needs to get really lucky, and he doesn't. So he cannot continue bets so big, because only the better hands than his will continue. If he wants to continue betting, he needs to continue betting smaller. So here, since we are in a free bet pot and out of position, we can bet a little bigger here, not doing our standard 1/3 of the pot bet. Sometimes I will make a larger bets against bad players. So here with Jack 9, we cannot call a free bet. If we have Jack 9 suited, we can call. Jack 10 suited will be a mandatory call, but Jack 9 off is just too weak of a holding to call a 3-bet. Here with the tens, we hope to get some action. Ace 10, it's a mandatory call. Against the free bet, we will 4-bet and stack off here. If this guy shoves, yeah, so it's a flip. Let's see if we get lucky here. We're running it twice, and we split the pot. So this guy actually played terrible, because he's either flipping or he is losing. To be okay to stack there with the ace king or tens plus, but with the ace jack he can just call. No reason to shove. When I 4-bet, he can just call, and he would win a pot if it was played that way, because there was a jack on the flop. Here against such a big free bet, I would usually fold, but we are super deep. This guy has $53, we have 25, so I would call to play only because we are super deep. If we were 100 big blinds deep, I would just fold here. Okay, we don't flap anything. I think you should never take insurance. PokerStars introduced insurance maybe a few months ago, I'm not sure exactly when. So you can get, okay, so we are out of the client, I'm not sure why. We're gonna finish the session for now. Hope you joined, hope you learned something new, and let's see what's the final score here. So actually we are break even today, and we are a little under the EV. Our EV says $3.4, so it was not a very profitable session, but I hope you learned something interesting. And if you have any questions, I would be happy to answer in the comments. See you in the next video. Bye bye.